But it is the monthly tier list time. This time we have a twist. I got my buddy Darren, who works at Diluvium, to rate play-to-earn crypto games on a tier list from S to F, from best to worst. So without wasting any more time, let's jump right into it. We got 11 games right here, and the criteria on which Darren will be rating them on is, first of all, most of these games here had or currently have some sort of airdrop or play-to-earn mechanics. So one of the things we'll be rating them on is going to be their in-game economy and what kind of airdrop slash play-to-earn they have done, and then the gameplay. And then the third thing is, as we did last time we recorded this a year ago, their market share or how big they can become in the future. Sounds good?
Yep. Sounds good.
Amazing. All right, here we go. We're gonna start off with Guild of Guardians.
Guild of Guardians. Cool. So they actually just launched. I'm not a massive mobile player, so I don't have too much to judge off. I've spoken to people that are. I would put them in A. Yeah, A/B, right? So we'll keep them in A, but I think they've got a lot of opportunity to do more. I think they've set a pretty decent foundation. And as we know, I'm not going to judge insanely harshly just because I know what it takes to go into a game, and the first product to market is never really the final product. It's never really the ideal situation. So I spent a bit of time in Guild of Guardians, enjoyed it myself. I think there's a lot more that they can do to increase user experience. I'll leave it at A. I think it's got potential, but definitely a lot of opportunities that they need to capitalize on.
All right, that's good. That's actually a very good rating. I'm having a lot of fun with Guild of Guardians, but I have mentioned in my videos in the past, mobile games are not for everyone. You have to love it in order to truly love it. So A is still a very good ranking. All right, moving on to Pirate Nation. This is a game that's browser-based, fully on-chain, something that I've only recently seen after they have airdropped their first batch of tokens, and I've seen people earning crazy amounts. Like there was a guy on Twitter who earned over $100,000 worth in their token.
I've definitely not played Pirate Nation. I've seen it around, but I would put this in C.
Fair enough.
I get it. There's possibilities and potential. Look, I'll be honest, I'm not super well versed in their tokenomic structure, the airdrop structure, but if you're just giving out tokens, how long can that last? Again, maybe they've got a nice way to do it. It all makes sense. I sound like an idiot here. That could be the case. But if it's just based on what I see, it seems very Axie-ish, and we kind of know how that played out. Like, it's just unsustainable is what I mean by that. The gameplay itself does not look captivating. Yeah, just don't hate me. I think people are participating for the airdrop, and that is it. So for that reason, C.
All right. Well, I'm for sure participating just because of the airdrop. But either way, for Guild of Guardians, for me, it's an S tier. But that may change after their final airdrop, because if they bring lower amounts than people expect, it's not an S tier anymore. As far as Pirate Nation, I would probably put it B or A.
Wow.
Yeah, probably B or A. I just started playing it. It remains to be seen how sustainable their economy will be. It remains to be seen how captivating the gameplay will keep me. But for now, it's a pretty fun game that's browser-based, easy to start.
Yeah.
I like that it's on-chain. But there we go. This list is about you, not about how I would rate it.
No, but I'm curious, just so I'm aware. So when you put an A and B, is that about the gameplay or airdrop possibilities?
Oh, it's both combined, for sure. If it was just gameplay, like this.
Okay, that's yeah. So I think I'm pretty accurate.
Don't give this part to an editor. Maybe they're going to sponsor me in the future. I'm just kidding.
Oh, shit.
All right, moving on. Neon Heroes. Neon.
I say Nyan Heroes, top of A. Look, this is such an interesting one because that 5v5 arena battle shooter, I don't know what the genre is. Overwatch does it. Marvel is doing a 5v5 shooter similar to this as well. So there's a lot of games in this genre, which means that it's a really competitive genre. Is it played out? Potentially. I don't know. But I think the idea of like mecha cats in this genre, I think there is like a lot of memeable virality to it. Based on what I've seen, people have genuinely enjoyed it for the gameplay itself. Like I said, none of these games I'm going to judge too harshly on the gameplay, just because the first product to market is never the final. But I think Nyan, out of this list, looking at it right now, even looking at the bottom, I would say is top 3. I think Nyan has huge potential, and I wish I was an FPS player so I could play it myself.
It's actually a third person, but anyway, it's a
shooter game.
Yeah, shooter game basically. Yeah. I would agree with this. I would put Neon either on A or even maybe on S. You know, based on their airdrops, they did a fantastic job captivating people, fantastic job with their marketing. They're definitely going to capture a big part of the audience. I would definitely agree with you on that. Very high A tier for Neon.
I'm gonna give a disclaimer real quick. I don't know what you consider S tier, just so people wonder why I'm not putting anything in S tier. S Shura is like an amazing game. Like a game that I think is like actually insanely good. And I just don't think any Web3 game is there yet. So I'm going to tier it based on like where they are in A. So I'm going to position A, Nyan Heroes top of A. That's how I'm going to do it. Just because no one's going to hit S tier. I'm prefacing that now.
Darren is like that math teacher from high school. Only God can be S. I can be A. You're a B. You know?
Yes, absolutely. I can be S, absolutely, but no one else.
All right, moving on to Moonray. What are we thinking about Moonray? Now, Moonray is a game that I've only recently first time tried myself. It's actually pretty fun to play. I don't know why I never got into it before, but it does have that entry barrier that you do need invite codes in order to play it. It will have their free-to-play launch will happen on the 1st of July, so everybody will be able to play it. But right now, this is where we're at, and this is the logo of Moonray. Yep. So what are we thinking? All right, now this is super cool. Hear me out. In all these crypto projects, there's NFTs, and these NFTs, especially on Ethereum, can have extremely high gas fees, and we all know how big of a problem that is. Now, they have come up with solutions such as layer 2s to offload some of the demand that goes on Ethereum because that's where the most amount of money is, but the chain gets congested and the gas fees are through the roof. Here's an amazing solution that's way better than layer 2s. It's a layer 1 and it's called the Laos network. It's connected to Ethereum, to Polygon, to other major chains with no bridges whatsoever. They call it bridgeless minting. So here's what I did. I went to their website to test this. I uploaded my MindBlow guy. I gave him a name. I gave him a description. I picked Ethereum as the chain. So I am minting this brand new NFT on Ethereum and I just click mint asset. Laos initiates the bridgeless minting. It opens my MetaMask. I approve the Laos network. It does everything on its own. I literally just click next, next, next. The gas fee is so small that it can be considered to be free. So I just confirmed the transaction and let the bridgeless minting commence. Once completed, I can view my asset right here on Etherscan, or I can even open my MetaMask directly on the Ethereum network. So I'm here on the Ethereum network opening my MetaMask, and here's my MindBlow guy. A wild MindBlow guy appears with the contract address and everything. Laos can be used to mint millions of NFTs directly on Ethereum without actually using Ethereum, but still keeping all the liquidity from Ethereum. Absolutely awesome. I recommend you follow them on their Twitter page. They will be doing a sort of pre-sale for their token once it launches, and there's a bunch of exciting things all around Laos. You should at least keep your eyes on them. All right, back to the tier list.
Just give me a little bit more context here. With the private playtest, do you know how many players they have?
No idea.
No, okay, cool. Based on what I've seen, I'll be generous. Do I want to be generous or realistic?
You should be realistic. Like, you should judge it just based on the facts that you have at the moment. So
I would
do you
say
think it looks like a good game?
I would say higher than, I mean, it's a deathmatch, similar kind of team v team game, right? And look, I'm not even going to compare it with Web 2 games, which is, I know I did a lot in the last time that I was here. I'm going to compare it even with Nyan Heroes. Like, it's just so far, the experience of it is just so far away. So yeah, look, I hope they do well. I wish them the best, but I think they've got a huge uphill battle is the best way to put it.
All right, that was Moonray. I wouldn't be able to rate this myself as I haven't played it enough, but Darren has to rate it. But Darren has to rate it just based on the facts that he has, which is right now just the gameplay he has seen. So that's how this list works. It's got to be a surprise. Otherwise, how will it be real, right?
And
so,
also in comments, please tell me why I'm wrong. Cuss me out, leave the comments, tell me what you think I've got wrong, please. Like, give us the engagement.
Moving on to Bloodloop. What are we thinking about Bloodloop? They have recently launched their token as well. Bloodloop is another shooter game where you play as different heroes and another one of those 5v5s. So we have lots of those going on right now, and Young Hero so far the best rated. So let's see where Darren's gonna put Bloodloop.
I'll put that in B. Look, it's, again, even comparing it to like Nyan, it's cool. They've got potential. Are they going to reach it? I don't know. Like, it's, even, like you said, what's crazy is we're not even looking at all of Web 3, let alone Web 2. And in this list of 5 games, 3 of them have a similar shooter, team v team kind of genre. And it's like, damn, we're comparing against even what we have right in front of us. So I'd say B. Like, Nyan Heroes has the meme ability with cats, the mecha cats. Like, that's just amazing. That's an amazing concept. There's actually a game that's not on here, but I'll just bring it up. I think Katana Ino was a similar one to Nyan Heroes, where it's got that memeable virality feature. It could be, so when I think about those type of games, what does Bloodloop and Moonray have special? I can't think of anything. I could be uneducated on the subject. If I had to choose out of these 3, I'll be picking Nyan Heroes as a gamer myself.
Okay. For me personally, I would put Neon, then I would put Moonray, then I would put Bloodloop. That's me personally, but it's still pretty similar, and that's mostly because I have the least experience with Bloodloop, and with Moonray I have somewhat of an experience, and then with Neon Heroes I actually played it quite extensively. So of course I'm very biased. I'm the most biased guy ever.
I like it.
All right.
You're honest.
Yeah. Moving on to the next game, which is one of my personal favorites so far, Shrapnel. It's the FPS game of Crypto. They do an amazing job at marketing their game, at letting people have their hands on it with their tournaments and playtests and lots of airdrops to be given away. And besides the fact that the game is not nearly finished, it was actually fun. When I played the playtest, I had lots of fun, and at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. So Darren, take it away. What do you think?
I'm very curious to see what you think about my placement here. I would put Shrapnel just under 9. So 9 Heroes, top of A is a really big sign.
Not even this one? All right.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. I'm going to say this a lot. The first time it hit the market, you said it yourself, it's nowhere close to being complete.
Yeah.
But the concept is good. I think if they really flesh it out, and I know this working at Illuvium, it takes time to flesh out a game, right? It takes a lot of time. So I think they've got a huge potential. I just love the virality of 9 Heroes with the cat. I think 9 Heroes and Shrapnel, you know, if you're watching like a horse race and they're like neck and neck at the line, that's how close I put them. I don't want anyone to think that I'm putting Shrapnel way below. I think that both of them, out of this list that we have, very good chances of Web3 really breaking that mainstream and at least showcasing the benefits of what crypto gaming is to the mainstream. Nothing but love and respect for both Nyan and Shrapnel there.
I would actually completely agree with this. I prefer Nyan compared to Shrapnel at the moment, mostly because Shrapnel is not finished, and they are aware of this. You know, that's why they're not launched yet. You know, they're doing their super early private alpha beta thingies. Even those are actually extremely fun. Extraction shooters are absolutely amazing. They give you a different kind of tension, and the fact that you're extracting things that can earn you money is just another layer of mega tension there. Either way, yeah, I would definitely agree with this. Okay, moving on to the next one on our little list here, which is the game you are on the team on, which is Illuvium.
No pressure.
Where are we gonna put Illuvium? Obviously, you said no S tiers. Everybody knows what Illuvium is at this point. For those who don't know, let me just give a little bit of a preface. Illuvium is doing their public launch in July 25th. Is that correct?
Yes, public launch July 25th, yeah.
July 25th, everybody will be able to play publicly live. Even now, their public beta is live, so you can play Illuvium even now in the beta for completely free and be eligible for one of their many airdrops that they are doing. So you can earn airdrops with Illuvium as well. They are doing a lot of things right. In the past, I have rated Illuvium badly. I have rated it good, depending on where we stood. Hey, I'm just keeping it real here. It's true. It's true. I was giving them slack for maybe not even understanding at some points, you know, what they are actually doing, but that's not the case anymore. Either way, Terran has been my good friend all the time. That's besides the point. Work is work, friendship is friendship. But anyway, how would you rate Illuvium?
I want to just say very quickly is, what's funny is even when you were critical, I don't know if you remember this, but I would reach out to you when you were critical and say thank you for your honesty. Like
that's true.
I always appreciated that you were critical but not cynical. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I always appreciated that. You were fairly critical, which was very good. So it's playable right now. $20 million airdrop. If anyone isn't playing, Mindblow has a referral link. Join below. It helps him out. Plus, you guys get into start earning points for this 20 million airdrop. But where would I put this? This is interesting. I hope no Illuvium person hates me for doing this. This current build that's currently out, I would put under 9 Heroes, being objective. Under 9 Heroes, above Shrapnel. But I say this knowing that we have huge updates coming up. When those updates come, and this has been announced, no one has seen this, but things like Alluvial Combat, a new arena game mode that's 8 players, more similar to TFT, when those things come out, that's when I think we would go up to the top of A and even potentially scratching the S tier. As of right now, I'm very confident to say, again, I think that the fun of playing with your friends and Nyan is just a bit better than what we currently have. I'll be very upfront, but I think in the next couple of weeks / month, as we get into that launch, I think we overtake that by a large margin and then even scratch the S tier.
That's amazing. I can't wait to see some footage of that combat. That sounds fantastic. I think that's exactly what's needed in order to get to that S tier.
I hope that the community appreciates that I'm not just, oh, Illuvium's the best. I am trying to be very objective with all of this here. And I hope I don't get fired for this.
I think the people that have seen you in the last video know that you are very objective. Even last time we had Illuvium on, you had a similar explanation, and you're always very objective when it comes to rating these. So I think people will definitely appreciate that a lot. But anyway, moving on to the next one, which so far, except for Pirate Nations, and then you could also say Guild of Guardians being a little bit more on the casual side, a little bit easier to play. Now we have a perfect hyper casual game. I don't know if you can call it hyper casual. I guess it's not hyper casual, but it is a fun mobile game, and I'm curious to see where you're gonna rate Honeyland. They recently had a huge airdrop. I think 5 million tokens they were giving away. A lot of people joined the airdrop, so they did do a good job of that, of keeping their in-game economy afloat in their Honey token, Age XD token. So apart from that, what do you think? Market share, gameplay?
You said that they brought in a lot of people from the airdrop. Do you know what that number was? I'm just trying to get context.
I don't know exact numbers.
Okay, I don't know enough about this game. I mean, I looked into it. From what I saw, I'm clearly not a hyper casual gamer. I'm gonna put this in F. I think the only people playing this game are playing it for the airdrop. I think the game, from a gameplay perspective, has no potential to actually stick. Yeah, look, I'm not gonna say too much. Come at me. I mean, tell me in the comments, are you playing for the airdrop or are you playing for the game? Like Nyan, I'd play for the game. Shrapnel, I'd play for the game. Guild of Guardians, I'd play for the game. Illuvium, I'd play for the game. Honeyland, call me out. Call me out if I'm wrong.
In my opinion, I just think it's not your cup of tea. It's a very much a mobile game that I would expect people who are not necessarily gamers to get into. In my opinion, that's fine. There's a big market for that type of audience, but I don't think Darren is the target audience. That's why I wanted to have it here.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. But what's great, there are some super hyper casual games, and I'll give this like a little bit of a thing for you as well, for your audience. I asked your audience to go search up this game called Sheep a Sheep. It was a massive hyper casual game in China that popped up. 60 million players. It absolutely took over. But like a hyper casual game like that is fun. Tile matching game. You click the things, and then if you complete the level every day, you get like a sheep, like a custom sheep. But I see games like that, and I'm like, this is what Honeyland is competing with. Even in that market, bro, Honeyland has no chance. We're competing against that without an airdrop. You're done. You're done.
Moving on to one of the fan favorites. So you should watch out for this one. This is one of the fan favorites. It's a game that everybody asked me to cover all the time. I never covered it specifically in a video. I may for their season 2. It is Pixels. Of course, you knew it was coming. It's Pixels. Pixels have this play to earn. They're also doing airdrops, but their play to earn has been active for a while. People have been earning for a while, and people love little bits of nostalgia in their games because Pixels does offer that. Self-explanatory from their title. They're a pixelated game. And let's see what Darren thinks about Pixels.
For the fun of it, for the content, where do you think I would put it?
I think you would put it in F or C.
I'm gonna put it at the top of B.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So
I misjudged you.
I think a lot of people, this is again not my game, obviously, but I think you're right. There's a lot of nostalgia. I think the airdrop that they're doing makes a lot of sense. Obviously, it's a Ronin product. It's linked with Axie, all that community. They've got a very strong community. The reason I put it in B and not A is it's similar to Axie. Axie kind of collapsed. Very few of those audience stayed there. They just migrated. So I put it in B because I think what they're doing is quite good. But I think if there ever does come a time where something in the economy, I'm not super well versed again, but if something in the economy does collapse, I don't think the players are going to stick with it. But I think what they're doing is commendable. I think you have to respect it. For that reason, top of B.
In my opinion, if any of these games, no matter how good they are, if their economy collapses, the game is going to fail. Because it comes back down to the age-old principle. When you start paying someone for doing something they like, and you take the pay away slowly and gradually, eventually not having any pay at all for doing something they like, keep in mind, they will stop doing the thing they like because they're just used to getting the pay. It's very difficult, especially if you have a high earning game, you can't keep it up. Pixels doesn't have super high earnings, which is why I think they could potentially sustain this for a long time. I hope they will.
Yeah.
And I wish them nothing but luck.
Look, yeah, I also want to say that I wish them the best. I want them to succeed.
So all of these games so far have either some sort of play to earn or some sort of airdrop. But these two games we're going to do now are kind of the bonus games that, you know, obviously we can't necessarily play them right now because this list is for July. I don't know if Darren knows this. We're recording this in the beginning of June, but this video is for July.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to come out much later. It's going to come out much later. So we have Star Atlas and we have Wilder World. Both of these games, well, they have some sort of early access. Wilder World I even have installed on my PC. I have yet to try it, actually. No airdrops, no play to earn at the moment. Very early stage development, but both of these games promise something insane. Something so mega big. I don't even have the right words for this, that I wanted to include them in this list and kind of see where Terran would rate them based on what they have now, not based on what they may have in the future. So we're not rating this based on promise. We're rating this based on just what they have now. And then we may revisit this a year later and see where they end up again. So take it away with Star Atlas. Atlas.
What they have now.
Yeah, because obviously they don't have an in-game economy now, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, but I know they've had like the dogfight, like they've had a couple of like little modules that they put out now. Yeah, I'm trying to think about this. It's definitely
based on what they have now, and we can also say based on the market they could potentially capture. We can also say it like that, because I don't think we have a game like Star Atlas or a game like Wilder World, that type of genre in crypto.
This might surprise people because the animosity between Illuvium and Star Atlas. I'm gonna put Star Atlas, it has to be better than Bloodloop. I'm going to put a top of B. Holy crap, I can't believe I'm doing this. So, the reason for this is that their vision is a good one. I know I brought this up last time because my opinion hasn't changed too much. It's funny, I look at this, right? And I realize we talk about Illuvium as one thing. Illuvium is a studio with 3 games, 3.5 games, including Beyond. Even adjusting the economy between those 3 is so difficult. We haven't done it perfect. We're fixing things up as we go. And then you think of a grand scheme thing that Star Atlas does. That's going to be so difficult. But if they do pull it off, wow. Genuinely, wow. I think that they should shift their marketing approach or their production approach into building smaller segments of the game. They've got that race, their dogfight thing, right? But making that a multiplayer thing. Like just get that out. Or a space racer. Get that out. Get a product out. Once they have that, then they can move on to the next one, and slowly build it out that way. Regardless, they're going to need a long time to build their entire vision. So I think coming out with products like that, at least they win over some sentiment. For all of those reasons, I think B, there's no way Pixels is better. There's no way Bloodloop is better. I would feel like a fraud putting Star Atlas less than that. So I wish them nothing but the best.
Even in Web 2, we don't have a game like this that is fully working, that is fully out, that is publicly launched. The closest thing we have to a fully working product from this genre is Star Citizen, which has raised
an insane amount.
They have raised like hundreds of billions of dollars, if I'm not wrong, right? Is it billions or it was millions?
It has to be millions.
They have raised $700 million, which is absolutely insane for a Kickstarter to raise this much money. And it has been in development for what, like 10 years now? And they have a fully working product, but it's so far away from being launched, it just takes too long to do something like this. So this is the crypto equivalent to Star Citizen. Hopefully they make it grander, bigger, better. You can only hope. Moving on to the last one on this list, which is Wilder World, one of the games that I'm so hyped for. It's like the GTA of crypto games. It has amazing graphics. Riding around the city, for whatever reason, you can also transform yourself into animals. But I guess GTA also has that in a way. You can eat the peyote plants and become an animal. So what do we think about Wilder World in the same criteria as we did Star Atlas?
Yeah, this is actually very interesting because they don't have a publicly playable product, right? Correct? Like I know they've had closed betas here and there.
They have a closed beta. I don't think they have anything public now.
Yeah, okay, so this is an interesting one. Look, I might shift a little bit. So it's better than Star Atlas, but the question now is it an A and B? And if so, where in A? I'm going to put this objectively right now under Guild of Guardians in A because based on what I've heard from one, their marketing and their influencer marketing, which is my department, my specialty, their influencer marketing is incredible. I see what they're doing with all the guys in the space. I love what they're doing. The feedback that I'm getting from the guys in the space, I love what they're seeing. I don't know if you saw recently, they came up with like this AI, put yourself in, like, bro, what even is that? Like, that is insane. The only reason I put it under Guild of Guardians, I think if they can get to what they plan to, I think it'd be up there with Illuvium, 9 Heroes, and like, I think, sure, it'd be much better than Shrapnel as well. Shrapnel out of those 3 are slightly behind, but I think because they don't have a public beta right now, it would be unfair to put them higher than Guild of Guardians.
Agreed.
If you had to ask me objectively, if we give everyone here 3 years, what would my top 3 be? Number 1 would be Illuvium. Number 2 would be 9 Heroes and Wilder Worlds. Interchangeable. But that would be my objective. If you ask me 3 years from now, if everything goes as it should, that's where I'd be placing these.
Interesting. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the list. Let us know what you think. I'm leaving.